All right, guys, so very quickly we'll go over what subnetting is. Now, this will be, of course, discussed in the slides with the lecture and whatnot, but when we're talking specifically about subnetting, you guys want to picture IP addresses kind of like a pizza or pie, whatever circular item you want to use. So with the IP addresses, I have different ways, or let's go back a second. With my pizza, I have different ways I can slice and dice it, right? I can cut it right down the middle, give myself 2 big giant slices. I can cut it again, give myself 4 big slices, cut it again, give myself more, cut it again, give myself more, cut it again, give myself more. Kind of looks like a basketball now. But what we're talking about and why I kind of use that analogy is the reason we use subnetting. So we primarily use subnetting to provide structure and efficiency to our networks. I can either create more networks with fewer hosts or fewer networks with more hosts. And keeping in mind the concept of a broadcast domain versus, a collision domain and those sorts of things. So with a broadcast domain, remember, it's essentially one system talking to every other system on the network. It's kind of like me standing in front of the class and talking. It's one person talking to a group of people. Obviously, that's not very efficient. Because think about your average organization. Your average organization has what? Human resources, IT, payroll, accounting, administrative, whatever it may be. So you may want to organize your networks according to how your business works. So if I take my pizza of IP addresses, I can subnet, I can take it and divide it into different organizations. And very simply put, let's say I have an IP address of 192.168.88, and I can use the values, going back to the previous lectures, I can use the values 0 through 255. So let's say I want to organize my networks similar to this. Let's say I have kind of a network like this, where I have IT, let's call it accounting, HR, payroll, sales, and what's another group in here? Let's use the bosses, executives, right? So I have my general structure like that. I could go in there and subnet this group of addresses according to the departments I have within my organization. So I could essentially do something like this. I can say, IT, you guys have 1 through 10. You guys have 11 through 20. You guys have 21 to, let's say, they got a bigger slice, so let's say 21 to 48. You guys have 49 to 52. You guys have 53 to 64. And we've got a lot of bosses, so let's say they have 65 through 100. So I could essentially say, slice up my pizza like that. And that's essentially what we're doing with subnetting. I'll save the actual process of subnetting for a separate video, but first you guys need to understand why we do subnetting. It gives our network structure, makes them run much more efficiently, and provides a kind of an added layer of security. It's not true security, but essentially what it does is whatever happens on this subnet has no impact whatsoever on the other networks. So in a way, it kind of segregates your network. So let's say somebody launches an attack on the IT subnet. That'll have no impact on the other subnets on my network. So this very brief covers why we do subnetting. Structure, efficiency, and kind of security. Not true security, but kind of.